kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
Let's talk about Eswatini. Let's talk about Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland. We grew up hearing about Swaziland. Today, it's called Eswatini. Why did they change their name from Swaziland to Eswatini? We are going to know about this very small country, one of the smallest countries in Africa and in the world. And by the way, one of the surviving kingdoms in the world, and more so in Africa, because kingdoms in Africa have been kicked out. But this one kingdom is surviving and has a country. And this country is called Eswatini. My name is Katom Kasa, and of course in the studio is Dance Bongole in Uganda. And you are watching us live wherever you are. This is Humanist TV Africa, the network with different studios, several studios in different countries. We have studios in Uganda, we have studios in Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe. We have studios in Nigeria and Ghana, Sierra Leone, UK, USA, and we are growing. We are a non-government organization, and we work towards empowerment of our people with, of course, enough education that can make them do things better. We inform, empower, educate, and of course, motivate our listeners. Today, we use this program we call Country Profiles to tell you more about the countries that you rarely hear about. Today, we cover Eswatini, or call it Swaziland. Let us have a look at what we have for you for Swaziland today. It is Humanist TV Africa. So Eswatini, or Swaziland, is a country that is completely landlocked. You see that map? What do you see there? You see a shield, and of course, some spears. It is purely a traditional kingdom. It's a kingdom that has existed for so many years, throughout imperialism, throughout colonialism, throughout Trans-Aborijin, throughout the British occupation, and of course, the occupation of the Boers, and of course, the occupation by the Zulus and others. This kingdom has survived. You can look at that beautiful map, one of the best maps in the world, beautiful flag. This is the flag of Eswatini, very, very beautiful, black, white, and of course the shield right there. It's a beautiful country with a beautiful flag. Now, this country, I told you, one of the smallest countries in the world is called Eswatini. And of course, we can see Eswatini has two capital cities, if you may ask me. Mbambane is taken as the lead one, but of course, they have also others. Now, when you look at this Eswatini country, you look at how small it is. And of course, you see that it's being surrounded by South Africa and Mozambique, the biggest, uh, biggest neighbors of Eswatini, South Africa and Mozambique. And of course, it's a land with a total area of 266,000 kilometers squared, and the total coastline of 1,110 kilometers, with a total coastline of that. And of course, if you look at Eswatini, look at California. That's the kind of size of Eswatini. Look at California, then we'll know the size of Eswatini. Now, Eswatini, no, California is much bigger. If you want to get the proper size of Eswatini, you are going to look at a much more smaller state, not California. I have to make that correction right away. I have said that Eswatini is not more than 200 kilometers. Let me make that correction. Eswatini is not more than 200 kilometers, which is 120 miles to the north, and of course 113 kilometers in the east. That is Eswatini. It's a small country, honestly. It was a small country. California is much bigger than Eswatini. Now, Swaziland, as it was called, Swaziland, today it's called Eswatini. Let us look into Swaziland here and see what's there. Lobamba is another capital of Eswatini. Some people are going to tell you Lobamba, but Lobamba is only legislative, where decisions are made, and Bambane is administrative. Then they have Kadake, which is a station kind of a city. They have again Mburamba Nisa, Nadunya. They have Mankayane, Haitakuru, Makoma, Narangano, and Androna, and of course others. It's a kingdom, remember, a kingdom country. Yes, you can talk about UK, yes, but here Africa has Eswatini. Africa has an equivalent of Eswatini. You talk about UK, a kingdom, then talk about Eswatini. Eswatini, here you see more into it. Who are the countries, who are the counties, cities that make Eswatini Ubombo? We have Manzini, we have Shisereni, yes, and of course Mbambane. I told you Mbambane and Lobamba are the main cities. One is administration, another one is legislative there. And we have a king, Mswati, as we shall see later, the guy in the leadership right there. Mozambique and South Africa are the biggest neighbors of this country. This country is completely landlocked. That is Eswatini in a glance, in a brief. It's a kingdom of Eswatini. And Eswatini, I tell you, Eswatini is a small country. I told you, a very, very small country, but one of the richest countries in the world. Very small, but rich. Let's look at how rich it is. Look at that map there for a minute. Eswatini has the following. It has Damak, it has coal, it has gold, it has current, it has liquor. It has other arsenic minerals such as arsenic, copper, manganese, tin, and of course other minerals. But Eswatini also is good for tobacco, cotton, pineapple, wood, livestock, fruit, citrus, corn, sugarcane, and Eswatini has its own electricity, timber, diamonds, coal, and asbestos. These are the riches of Eswatini. I told you that the main two cities in Eswatini, called it Swaziland, Mbambane, and of course that is the one which is the leading one. And of course we know that Mbambane isn't alone, that there are other cities or big cities, but of course we look at Mbambane from the point of administration. Now here you look at the geological map of Swaziland, geology, and how things are in this country. It's a lovely country. It's a country with minerals. It's a country with potential. It's a country that was once under the occupation of course the Boers. You call them the Transvaal government, and of course the British, but of course the Zulu had come in earlier to dominate them for so many years. Now Swaziland, as was known, today has a very small population. Let me put these figures right here. Small population of about 1,202,000. It is so small a country. The population is only 1,202,000. So, and population per kilometer is only 69. Of course, that is a bit high, and life expectancy is low at 53 years, very low, especially for males. And for females, it is 61. Birth rate is high at 24%. Birth rate is high. Death rate is also high at 11%. Male to female, there are more females at 50 and males at 49. That is Eswatini at a glance in terms of statistics. I give you more. The main language in Eswatini is called Swazi. Swazi. They speak their Swazi. Remember, they call themselves Swaziland. Mbambane and Lubamba are the main cities. Administration and legislature. These are the main cities. Of course, there are Manzini, Seleki, and Makayane, among others, as cities in Swaziland. Now, of course, the mother tongue is Swazi. They have Zulu. Zulus have been part of Swaziland for a long time, and of course others. But these are the mother tongues, Swazi and Zulu. You have to be able to speak Swazi and of course Zulu if you are going to survive well in Swaziland. And Swaziland has many Christians who are Zionists. Yeah, Christian Zionists. These are guys who think about Israel more. And of course, they have the Roman Catholics at 20%, Zionists at 40%. They have other Christians at 30%. Muslims are too few at only 2%. The economy of Eswatini is actually small at only 4.79 billion US dollars. Exportation is at $2,094 million, and of course the importation is quite high also. You see, they're exporting, but also their importation is almost matching their export. If you are importing goods of worth at 2,000 millions or $2,288 million, and you are exporting of the same magnitude, then it means your economy is going to be doing badly because the balance of payment is going to be in trouble here. And look at the tourism receipts. Tourism is quite big for them because it gives them $8 million. I tell you, this country is beautiful. This country is beautiful. This country has beautiful sights, eye-catching, eye-taking sights. Debt rate is too high at 46% of the GDP. This is worrying. The debt rate of Eswatini is 46% to their GDP. And unemployment is also high at 24%. That is worrying. Inflation is 2.6. Now, this is terrible for Eswatini. This is terrible. Unemployment is high. Corruption is too bad at 30. By the index, it is 30. And energy consumption is 1.4 billion kilowatts. And of course, according to the definition from the International Monetary Fund, Eswatini is a developing country. Yes, Eswatini is not as poor as I may say. It's actually a developing country. Population is 1.2, and because of slower economic performance, it will be doing badly, but it's a developing country according to IMF. And of course, with the average annual income of $3,000, Eswatini is one of the lower middle income countries. Of course, Eswatini is one of the lower middle income countries. Let us continue with the statistics. Now, in terms of land use, much of the land use is for agriculture. Remember, they produce cotton. They produce a lot of course, timber. They have cotton. They have sugar. They have citrus fruit, livestock, pineapples, tobacco, and of course clay. I mean, much of their land is for agriculture. 71%. This is good. Urban population is so low at 5%. Forest cover 29%, which is good, and water covers about 1%, which is about 160 kilometers there. Railways cover 3,769 kilometers, and of course that is rail coverage. And vehicles, which are just started, are only 99,000 right there. Let us look at more figures here. Here we look at important cities in Eswatini. I told you Mbambane is the capital city, and Lubamba is the seat of government. Yes, one is administrative, one is legislative. That is Eswatini. They have Manzini, they have Big Bend, Marakens, Bronen, Huiti, Siteki, Pik, Govolane, Kwaruseni, Bunya, Marabahasi, and others. These are cities I'm giving you If you're going to Eswatini, know where to visit, which cities are there. In terms of politics and governance, it is not a country badly managed. Yes, it is fair, 50-50 right there. And of course, uh, death penalty is not practiced in Eswatini. They have a king. They have a king, a man with many women, as tradition is saying. And because trade agreements, they are dealing with commerce. They are dealing with other trade blocks in Africa. They have commerce, common market for Eastern and Southern Africa. They have SACU, Southern African Customs Union, and they have SADC. They are also members of SADC, which is Southern African Development Community. They are in alliances with African Union, Non-Aligned Movement, Commonwealth of Nations, UN, and UNESCO, and WTO, among others. Eswatini is highly linked to the world. Eswatini has beautiful places like that one. Beautiful cities I've mentioned, Mbombani and others. Beautiful places, plateaus, highlands. It is a green country. It's a lovely country to be in Eswatini. It's very beautiful. The waterfalls. It is very beautiful going to Eswatini. Eswatini is beautiful. The forests, I told you, covers quite a lot. 28% of the land coverage is covered by Eswatini's forests. They have the most beautiful huts in Eswatini. Beautiful huts in Eswatini, right there. And of course, the water places, the water points, house besides the water points. Eswatini is beautiful. It's pure beauty. They have all these animals. Talk about lions, elephants, all these animals, the zebras. All these animals can be found in Eswatini. But I like their huts. They have lovely huts in Eswatini. Eswatini has the huts. Of course, the giraffe there. Yes, the giraffe there. And all these animals, you can be sure to find them in Eswatini, the lions and all these animals. Beautiful animals there, beautiful national parks there. And of course, the environment, as you can see, is good. The zebras are there. And of course, when you go there, be sure you're going to be able to move and enjoy. In Mbambane, the capital state of Eswatini, Mbambane is a beautiful capital state of Mbambane. Remember, they have two cities, Lubamba and Mbambane, right there. And one is administration, another one is legislation. And Lubamba, the capital state, Lubamba and Mbambane. One is for administration purposes, it has the parliament. Another one, of course, has the parliament. And the other one is for administration. Mbambane and Lubamba. These are the two capital cities of Eswatini. Small country with few people, 1.2 million people. The economy is in the lower income economy. In fact, better than Uganda's economy. Yes, better than Uganda's economy. Right there. In terms of ranking, yes. Few people, they are using their minerals the way their kingdom seeks to use them. They are doing well. When you look at their villages, they are smart villages, very smart villages, very organized people in Eswatini. The village is really a village, very organized, clean huts. The Zulus there and the Swat people are really organized, very organized people. When you look at their villages, you look at very beautiful villages in Eswatini. And of course, the country is green. I love their culture. These guys love their culture. Remember, it's among the few surviving kingdoms in Africa. And a kingdom that actually has a country. That kingdom is called Eswatini, Swaziland. Yes, you can look at how beautiful they are. They love their king, they love their tradition, and they are strongly rooted in their culture. Beautiful women, of course, in Eswatini, right there, the Zulus and others here. Many of them, of course, are Bantu people in Eswatini. The Bantu, some of us, the Bantu come from actually South Africa. These are our sisters, our ancestors, right in South Africa here. The Bantu-speaking people came from South Africa, and Eswatini has many Bantu people, of course, like the rest of South Africa. There are many Bantu people. Now, this guy, King Mswati III, King Mswati III is the guy here who has been into leadership of Eswatini for some time. Of course, kingdoms, as you know, from father to son, from father to son. Mswati has been in power since 1986. There he was young. Mswati Sering, born April 19th, 1968. 1968. Mswati has been there in power since 1986. He came to power in 1986. He was born on 19th April 1968. The guy has been in power. He has many women. The story goes that actually they line them up and he picks. They must be virgins. Yes, that's the story that goes around. But the fact that he has so many women, and we have been seeing them on his national parades, a line of women, like 6, 7, 8 women line up and sit in all these chairs. And the king president, I will call him the king president, these are his women. The king president comes in wearing local regalia, traditional regalia, comes in and then showcases his women. Yes, there was a rumor that he was telling people to marry 5 women, but it was wrong. It was wrong. These are his women. When he's going to move, they come and line up with his children. Yeah, and the man, as a king, moves around, in traditional garb, wearing that kind of thing. These are his women, you can see. And Mswati right here, and a number of women, a man with so many women. And it was rumored that he had ordered men to marry 5 women, but that rumor was wrong. He came out and said, no, I haven't told anyone to marry 5 women. It's the king who can marry 5 women and more. These are his women. He's known for many women and he gets them virgin. That is the tradition among the Eswatini tradition culture. The king has many women because they must be virgins at the point of marriage. He moves with 1 or 2 in foreign countries. He owns, of course, a personal jet and all that. Of course, they have the money, they have the gold, they have the diamonds. It's a rich kingdom. A kingdom that is actually a kingdom in Africa is the kingdom of Eswatini. He moves with his wives, 1, 2 wives here and there. He has more than 5 wives, of course. He has so many children. That is Eswatini. Mswatis there. These are the women. I decided to show you the women, the many wives of King Mswati. Every function, these women are lined up and are shown. And another year, he adds another woman. He's a man with so many women. He's a man, and the tradition is here. Very interesting stories from Swaziland. Of course, we know it as Eswatini today. Stories of many women, stories of many children. The king owns everything. The king makes them to come parade themselves almost naked. That is going to pick a woman. Very interesting stories from Swaziland. But Swaziland, it's doing well economically because at least they're in the lower middle income country. Corruption is a bit high. Unemployment is a problem right there, but they're trying to fix it. I should tell you, as a visitor, the country is peaceful. Eswatini is peaceful, it's lovely, it's a good place to go and visit. And the people have their culture. You know, the Bantu, the Zulu, the Swazi, these people have their culture. The dancing, the singing are great. I would recommend anyone to go to Eswatini, call it Swaziland, and visit and see how lovely Africa can be when kings really can let people be. And of course, the king there in Swaziland has been a free guy. I think he has been a good leader for some time. Thank you so much for watching. This is Women's TV Africa. We bring you information, education you don't normally see elsewhere. We're here to educate, inform, and empower our viewers. See you in the next show.